2GR.
Hey everybody, welcome to our gaming resume, our impressions for Sekiro.
Whew. Shadows
Die Twice.
Twice. That's a lie. That's a damn lie.
That is a lie.
Shadows don't die twice.
No.
Shadows die at least 137 times.
I'm Sean. This is Onyx.
Hello.
We've got some video playing. We're not actually playing it live right now, but we do have some video playing. I don't anticipate we will show any mini bosses or bosses, but if you are really particular about spoilers, maybe avoid the video and maybe even some of these impressions. I think we're going to talk about the first 10 to 15 hours of the game.
I would say. I'm at the point right now where I'm about to fight the third actual boss.
I've only fought 2. So there's your line in the sand right there.
Yeah.
Although there is some openness to this game, so the order in which you tackle some of these
be different. Yeah.
Could be different. But you've been warned, I guess, so it's up to you if you want to keep listening. So, Onyx, what are your initial impressions of Sekiro?
So this is funny, right? We have the group chat, and we would, as we started playing the game, me and Sean, we kept, talking, just kind of like sharing, like, oh, I got to this, I got to that. Oh my god, I died here, I died that, and we got to the point, I think both of us were like hella frustrated.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like this game, it's FromSoft, and I'm sure you've heard it everywhere, where people are like, yeah, I started playing it like Dark Souls, and you shouldn't play it like Dark Souls.
Or even Bloodborne.
No, definitely. But Bloodborne, like, genuinely feels more like Dark Souls. It's like Dark Souls without shields, right? With the added emphasis on attacking. This game, dude, no. It's totally different. And again, you've heard it out there in reviews and people's impressions. It's true. Like, I should have told myself that earlier on, because those first couple hours were very frustrating. The tutorial was fine. I'm trying to remember who the first major roadblock for me was. Mm-hmm. And I forget. It was definitely one of the mini bosses. I think it was a Shinobi Hunter. But anyway, first impressions, this game is hard.
It is extremely hard. Especially for someone, like you said, if you're coming into it trying to play it like a Souls game, you have to get that out of your mind. And
it's so hard to do. So, like, I've been playing Souls games since Demon Souls in 2009. Yeah. We're talking 10 years of this muscle memory that you've developed.
I mean, out of fairness, I feel like when Bloodborne came out, there was some of that discussion too. Like, oh no, you got to get out of the turtle mode.
Right, yeah.
Because it is very dodge, attack,
yes.
Get in your face, get out, use the gun. Like, that's not Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
It's definitely not. It did have,
but it's a lot. Those two are a lot closer together than this is.
Right, because you had a stamina bar that you had to watch out for.
Yeah,
and the stamina in that game obviously was like the dodging was your defensive option.
Right.
So when you dodged in Bloodborne, you barely used stamina compared to Dark Souls, where you used a dodge and you take a big chunk of that stamina. So,
yeah. That doesn't exist here. There's a stamina-like thing called posture, which we'll talk about, but you can sprint, you can dodge,
you can jump
as much as you want.
Do whatever you want, yeah.
It's not going to help you in most scenarios to do that, which is why they don't put an extra bar on it, because it doesn't... It helps in certain areas.
In certain fights, right. So this is kind of what happened with my first couple hours of Sekiro. I was playing it somewhat like Bloodborne, somewhat like Dark Souls, somewhat like Demon Souls. I knew that I shouldn't, but I was like, I'm still playing the defensive game, right? In those games, you play defensively. You wait for the enemy to attack. You see the opening after, then you attack, back up, rinse, and repeat.
Right.
And in Bloodborne, they went away from that, like we discussed earlier. And I was still doing that with Sekiro. And I realized as I kept on playing, like I said, I got to the Shinobi Hunter, which is, and I guess...
Remind me who that is again.
Right, so in the Hirata estate, the flashback area,
right,
he's the first spear guy you meet. The one that was like
in
white.
Okay. Yeah. There's a pagoda, and there's like a river
pagoda,
bridge.
And there's like a guy with an arrow right next to him.
Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking
about. So that guy was my first major roadblock in this game. I was mad. I could not kill him. And what I ended up doing was...
killing him?
So, well,
because that's what I did.
You can do that. Oh, did you end up just de-aggroing him both times?
I can't remember if I think he had 2.
He has 2. All many bosses have 2.
Yeah. Sorry.
I might see.
He's sneezing. While he's sneezing, I know where he was going with that is you have to have the right skill set
You have to have the Mikuri counter.
Yeah.
So this is move that you dodge into the spear when he's gonna actually not just spears, it's any thrust
attack,
which I learned that like hours later. Anyway, I got the move, I was able to kill him, but that was my first roadblock, and that was it. I just learned, oh, that's right, I have to dodge into it. I kept on playing. I got to the drunkard, right?
Yeah, he was a pain,
which he was a pain too, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna fight the drunkard, I'm gonna go the other way. I go the other way and I fight the ogre. Ogre was fine, not that bad. Once you got the weapon, once you get the flame art, did you get?
The ogres do the. See, I'm learning stuff.
Did you not know that?
I know it's red eyes.
The ogre had red eyes.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, so when you do the flame art on him, he literally gets staggered for like.
Are we talking about the ogre that's on the bridge, or like the mini boss ogre?
The mini boss ogre.
Oh no, okay, I knew that.
What other ogre?
I thought you meant the one. Never mind.
No, tell me.
There's like those big hulking guys that.
Oh, the fatties, the big boys.
Yeah.
No, not those. Not those.
Okay.
I'm talking about the chained ogre.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, mini boss wise.
He was fired. Yeah, fired up.
Made it a lot easier.
Yeah, I think I beat him on my first try.
Oh, nice. See, I got to him before I even got the fire. So I kept getting, like, his grabs kept getting me, and I kept trying to dodge away from his quick grabs. I'm going to tell you something. I started jumping with him, and it helped.
It does.
Like, you know how you press X twice and you jump off of enemies?
Yeah.
It made such a difference for his fight, but I still didn't use it. This whole big thing that I'm getting to at is it took me up until the horse boss. I forget his name. But that's the first major boss,
right.
If you went that route anyway. That's the first boss that I fought. I actually fought him even before Lady Butterfly. So when I got to him, I beat him. And that's when it hit me. Oh, this is how I have to play Dark Souls. Sekiro.
Yeah, right.
I was so aggressive. I did not want to give him a chance to breathe. And that's what, like, it literally clicked in my head. I'm like, I'm parrying these attacks. I'm jumping and blocking at the same time. Jumping and slashing away at him. Like, I was so aggressive that it genuinely finally clicked. This is how you play this game.
Did you go do any training with the undead guy or whatever? I
sure did.
Okay. Did you do that in the first couple hours?
Yeah, I did it as soon as I found him.
As soon as you found him? Okay.
Yeah, which was like the beginning of the game.
Because I took my time with him because I knew the mechanics were going to be different. And he's like, okay, there's enemies where you can just go up and slash, and they will just die.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, there's enemies where you can't do that.
Right.
You have to deflect. And that's the only way to get them to a critical, get to stab them in the face stage. Yeah. But then it's not as easy as just attack and block. There's the Mikuri counters where you can really do damage based on that. I've noticed. I feel like it finally clicked for me last night. Actually, a couple nights ago, because I got pretty far. I got past where you're talking about, and then the game like really opens up, and there's like 5 or 6 different things.
Oh my god, it was
you can
crazy.
go in so many different directions.
Yeah.
And I kept hitting like roadblocks. I'm like, okay, I'll just go somewhere else. And eventually, I got to a point where I could not progress, and there were a couple enemies where I'm like, I'm so close. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. And I just kept getting frustrated because I just could not understand why. It's like, well, if I just go up and attack, I get slaughtered. If I sit here and defend, I get slaughtered. Yeah. I don't understand. Like, how am I supposed to possibly beat this? And I want to talk about both. Well, there's 3 technically progression systems in just a second. But what finally clicked for me is that some of these enemies are actually meant to be cheesed. And
it definitely feels that way.
First of all, getting a stealth attack on one of the mini bosses anyway is encouraged.
100%.
That's not meant to make it you're kind of supposed to do that. Otherwise, you're in for a very long
it's gonna be a hard fight,
and you may not win. You probably won't win.
Fight, yeah.
But what I realized is there were certain enemies even where I feel like something just crashed back here, but there's just air back there, so I don't know how that's a thing. Where like if I went into attack, I got slaughtered. If I sat there and tried to defend, I'd get slaughtered. Dodging didn't work. So what I realized is certain enemies, if you run around them in circles, they're too slow to turn. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, oh, wait a minute. So I run at them and just sprint to the right, and they start their attack going this way, and I can immediately turn and hit them in the back.
Yep, and get
every
a lot
time.
Of posture damage.
No blocking, no straight head-on attacking. You almost have to get them into an animation and then back in. So I was like, oh, I felt like I cheesed somebody when I did that. And that's how I beat one of the mini bosses. So I went to another mini boss. I'm like, I'm going to try the same thing. It worked again. They weren't spinning as fast as I was running around them. And I was able to get through. And I'm like, oh no, did I break the game? But then I started finding enemies where, no, they spin at the exact same speed.
Yeah, they track you.
So I realized, okay, that's a way to try. Each boss, each mini boss at least, is designed to be defeated a specific way.
Yeah. Or at least
there's probably multiple ways.
There's like a specific easier way that you can do. You can use certain skills and certain prosthetics to make the fight a lot easier.
Yes. So I would recommend, if you are having trouble, try sprinting in circles around them and see if they track you one for one or if they fall behind. Because if they fall behind, that's a tip. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that in the game.
It's really interesting because you're right. There are different ways of tackling these enemies, but like we just said, there are certain specific ways that'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Once they got Robert's firecrackers, the bullfight, right, It made it easier. He gets staggered for much less time than other enemies do.
It made the horse boss a lot easier.
Which one?
The horse boss.
I didn't have it by that time.
I sure did.
They made it a lot easier?
Firecrackers plus the grapple into an enemy attack.
Yeah. Oof. I didn't have the Robert's firecrackers. I literally fought him with my bare sword. It was wild.
So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I don't want to talk too long. We're probably not going to do a super long, in-depth review of all the different parts of this game. Impressions, I should say. I would like to do a review of this at some point.
No, I want to review this. Yeah. The game deserves the review.
So I don't want to just repeat everything again later. But for the progression systems, there's two main ones, but there's a third one. Let me talk about the third one real quick because I don't really use it all that much. And that's the Shinobi Prosthetics. Mm-hmm. There is a upgrade tree for the prosthetics. And it's very similar to Souls or Bloodborne, where you would get materials and then you could upgrade your weapon.
Right, yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, you can upgrade prosthetics.
Right.
But I haven't found it all that useful. I've upgraded like twice, and I feel like there's like 40 or 50 nodes in the thing, and it's like half the time I'm not even using the prosthetics, which could be part of my problem, but I haven't. It's like you use them and they kind of help a little, but they're not the go-to absolute, this is how you beat the boss yet.
Right. There are some bosses that suffer from it. Like, I know that I think it was the Ashina Spear guy, the 7 Spears mini boss, or I forget which one it was, that I ended up using the axe to do more posture, because the axe does more posture damage from one hit, because there's an obvious charge up to it.
Right.
So I ended up, like, I think it was for the first hit that when you sneak up on him, I backstabbed him.
Yeah.
And then as he's recovering from that, I just charged up my axe and I hit him, and it did a good chunk of posture damage.
There's also a skill that lets you follow up with a second attack with your sword.
Yeah, I saw that.
So getting to that then, skills, that's... Hang on, is that the one I wanted to talk about first? Because there's two main ones. There is the...
There's like leveling up your body.
Okay,
not leveling up.
Okay, hang on.
Right?
Okay, here we go. So the experience system in this game is similar to Souls and Bloodborne in the sense that you kill enemies, you get... They're experience points in this game, but souls, if you will. And... that's about as similar as it gets.
Yeah, because you use them for skill points versus
you use them
like
for skill
stats.
points as opposed to stats. The way it's different, and it's different in two major arenas, is number one, as you are collecting these experience points, you're filling up a progress bar. And once that progress bar hits the end, you've acquired a skill point. That skill point is yours no matter what. Yeah. If you die, doesn't matter. You have it. You don't have to use it right away. You've got it. Unlike in the Souls games where you are constantly accruing this stuff and you just lose it all in one go.
Yeah, but you can pick it up.
But you can, and that's the second piece that's majorly different. Is in this game, you will lose when you die. you will lose half of whatever you have accrued in your current progress bar.
And your money.
And it's gone. And your money. And it is just straight up gone. There is no recovery. However, random number generator, you may not lose anything because of spirit aid or I forget what it's called.
Unseen aid.
Unseen aid. Thank you. As I've progressed further into the game, I've realized I don't like that system at all.
No, it's pretty poor.
Because what happens is I've gotten to the point now where I need like 2,000 something experience for my next skill point. And the enemies that I'm currently fighting anyway, the most I've seen is like 90 experience.
Yeah, you don't get too much right now.
So that's like 20 plus enemies that you have to kill.
Yeah.
Which is, it doesn't sound like a lot, but the way this game operates is you can't just rush in and just kill. So it takes some time to pull all that stuff together.
Yeah.
And so if I've got 1,100 experience points, I've cleared out a thing, I need 900 to the next level, and I'm like, hey, I'm ready to go explore some new area. I'm not going to. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I want to cash that in before I get murdered on the first guy and lose half of that 1,100.
Right.
So now I'm like, well...
Which, I mean, that's what the resurrect system is there for, right? You kind of, you can, if you have a resurrect available.
Okay, that's fair.
You can resurrect and then just run away.
Yeah,
you do have the option, but, it sucks anyway, especially more for the bosses. There's times where you don't know if you're going to fight a boss. And yes, again, you can still run away, but sometimes you just like, I don't know, you just don't. Or,
and these bosses are so hard that you're not going to beat them on your first try.
No,
and so you go away and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to go fight it. Oh, and you still need to go 700 more experience points just to get the skill, so I don't lose. Because you know you're going to fight them over and over, and every time you die, it's half
it's
until
weird.
you have nothing.
It almost like incentivizes.
It will drain your bar.
Yeah, it incentivizes doing that. It incentivizes like making sure that you see where you are in the bar. If you're okay with losing, a chunk of it, then go for it. But if you know, like, I'm really close to the next level, it almost makes you want to do that. It makes you want to go out and grind. And it's funny that you say that because I looked into like the best farming spots relatively to where I'm at in the game, and you can farm relatively quickly, but you're cheesing enemies essentially. Like,
you are.
You run up to these guys on the bridge, you kill them both, you run up, you shoot a shuriken, these 3 enemies like turn around and you just backstab them all, and you get like I think 250 in 30 seconds. But then you got to reload the idol and restart.
And then it just feels like
you're
not enjoying the game.
It gets a little boring.
It just becomes almost tedious.
To grind and farm.
Grinding still existed in the Souls games.
Yeah, but it was. It was easier to actually grind in an area.
But it was okay because even if you had a bunch of souls and you're like, I don't want to lose them, I don't have enough for a skill point yet. It's okay to continue on because if you die,
you can come back. Yeah.
If you get somewhere and die on your first try, odds are you're going to make it back there on your second try.
You're going to be more cautious.
At least get there. Exactly.
Yeah.
And really all you have to do is touch it, and then you got your souls back, and you can die again, and it doesn't matter.
Drop right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was a little bit more lenient for sure.
This game is not lenient in that, and which is fine, but the way it's set up is it discourages exploration at any time.
At any time, right. You want to be careful because you know the penalty. And not just that, Dragon Rot too.
And which I kind of even don't care about Dragon Rot.
I'm at like 7% on CD.
It gets to the point where it's like, yes, I know when I die I lose half, so I'm just gonna do what I know, hit the progress bar, go blow all my money on something, and now I'll go explore now that nothing's gone. And that's a crappy way to have to.
Yeah, I mean, what I ended up doing now is like every time I know that I'm about to fight a boss, you can tell. Yeah. Like when you're kind of getting close to a boss, I just put all my money that I have at a time into Spirit Emblems. You're gonna need them. You're gonna use them.
Yeah, I've been doing that too.
I have like 500, and I'm like, okay.
I do go buy the money bags, but I think those are finite. Buying them
is definitely finite, and you do find them around the world, obviously. Right. But that's okay because I see those as like investments.
But that's how you would. You
store your money.
But because it's not infinite, I can't just say, "Oh, I've got 1,000," and go back and buy some bags. Right. Because eventually
you just literally buy them every time you see them. Just buy them because you're saving your money.
Well, yeah.
And then whenever you're like, okay, I actually need to cash in something, you just go ahead and cash in.
It's a very good thing to use them. Yeah. I just wish I was able to use them. I wish I was able to buy them
infinitely.
But that might make things easier. They make it a hard resource.
Remember when Bloodborne first came out? Blood vials were a little bit different. when every time that you died, correct me if I'm wrong, but every time you died, it actually didn't stock up your blood vials, right? Or like what was it
No, you
when
died
the game
and it
first
did.
came out? There was a difference with blood vials that got patched to make it a little bit easier. It was kind of like a quality of life change.
I can't remember
I
exactly.
forget what it was either.
Maybe,
but
I think you could be right. It auto replenishes upon death if you have some in stock, as opposed to you have to go back and reload.
yeah,
them from your stock.
again,
could be
correct
wrong.
me if I'm wrong, but I know that there was a change back then because I remember people complaining
No,
about
I
blood
remember.
vial.
I remember that. I
Yeah.
think there was also a problem with they just didn't drop enough, or they dropped too much. I can't.
I forget what it was, but anyway, I think the game might still get patched here or there. It is a single player experience, so I don't know how that's going to affect the patching process or how they're going to update the game. But I think there's still a chance to update some things. The one thing that I don't want them to touch, however, is that combat system because I like it a lot. Like,
just because
a
it's
lot.
hard doesn't mean it's bad.
It's not
actually
bad at
really
all.
good.
No, it's
actually really good.
like when I started, like I said, when it clicked for me, I was like, I'm gonna try these fights differently. I'm gonna approach them in a very different way. And yeah, I still got my ass handed to me at first. But when it clicked, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, I don't know if you know this, maybe it is, maybe it's easy information to know, but like you hold down the defend, like the block button, and your posture drops tremendously.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
I
it until I
watched
heard
the
it in a
video.
video. Yeah.
I watched that video and I'm like, I'm so dumb. Like, you're so used to playing Dark Souls and Bloodborne where you can't hold the block button because that like makes your stamina go so
For
slowly.
most attacks, blocking deflects all damage.
It does, yeah.
Not all attacks.
I think all of them though.
No, there's some where even just regular attacks will break. They damage you through your
Really?
block.
I haven't noticed that. I know posture.
Yeah,
gets
you may
damaged.
not have fought this one guy yet.
Wait, is he in the Ashina Castle?
He's yeah.
He does a double slash.
He's in blue.
Double slash.
Yeah, I think so.
I beat him.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yes.
Well, anyway, that's yeah.
You mean that spoilers?
Well, maybe.
He was
By a dojo area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that fight.
I hated that fight.
At first, I hated it because I'm like, how do I beat him? Did you figure out how to beat him?
Yeah, I ran around him in circles, and he would attack. But
Yeah.
he was one. Okay, spoilers for how to beat that guy. That's how I did it. I would run straight at him and then cut left, and as he attacked, I'd just run around behind him and get a couple slashes in, back up and
do it
repeat.
again.
Rinse and repeat.
So you could do that, or when you see the flash, just dodge left. It's perfectly timed. I'm like, that slash was so obvious.
No, it's because I dodged right. That's what it was. I was dodging right every time. I
You
just
gotta dodge left.
naturally
Me
dodged
too.
right.
I was doing the same thing, and I always kept getting hit by the second hit. And I'm like,
Yep.
why does the second hit always hit me? And then I dodged left, and I was like, holy crap, it's perfectly timed. And after I beat him, I went online to see like how people experienced it. When you see the flash, if you literally deflect twice, you deflect it perfectly. Boom, boom, and it does more posture damage.
I feel like I tried that, and I probably just got the timing wrong.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And that's so frustrating with this. It is
you
a
have
timing
to
game,
be perfect,
and
man.
it's hard to practice that
you
on
can't,
bosses
because you die so quickly.
You die
don't
quick,
have
and
the
then it's
time.
like you got to wait for the loading screen, and then fortunately for him, he's right there
Yes.
next to the
Yeah,
load
he was
plate.
literally right
but
there.
when you have to sprint through a bunch of enemies just to get back,
the Seven
it really
Spears
sucks.
guy pissed me off for
Actually,
that reason.
Actually, there's a really fast way to get to him. When you know how you start up with, okay, I guess spoilers for how to get to the Seven Spears guy really fast,
Yeah.
but it actually kind of makes it harder. If you you know where you start at, and you run past the two dudes and the two dogs.
Yeah.
You jump up onto
and into
the thing.
tree, right?
It's a tree that you like swing on.
And you just immediately grab. Yeah, no. I figured that out. But what I mean is I still hated that whole
having to do
it because the dojo guy was literally
And there's a
right
guy
there.
that's watching you, and if you go to
You know-
backstab him, he comes at you too.
Well, I ended up, so I figured that out too.
Yeah.
See, this is the beauty of From Software games. This whole like discovery of like, I figured that out by doing this. Did you too? Yes. Oh my God. Because like what I ended up, I saw that happening, and I ended up just jumping up on the stairs as he was coming down and backstabbing him there, and the guy would have
He
seen
can't
me.
see you.
I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Friggin' hey.
I really want to come back real quick to the second or the last or whatever progression system in this game, which is actually really good.
Which one?
The other one, it's whatever.
Experience points and skills. Okay.
Okay. You cannot grind out better stats to beat bosses.
You cannot.
In
You gotta beat 'em.
Bloodborne, in Dark Souls, if you're having problems with a boss, go run some circles
kill some
around,
enemies,
get up some souls, and go increase your strength, your health, your defense,
whatever you need.
Whatever. The only way, with some minor exceptions, items that you find in the world or in stores or whatever, for the most part, the only way to increase your health, increase your posture, and increase your attack is literally by defeating the mini bosses and the bosses. You literally have to have skill to progress. You can't rely on grind out enough power to survive.
Yep.
Which is amazing. I love that.
It incentivizes you to genuinely get good.
You do.
Like Bloodborne and Dark Souls and all that, you gotta get good, right?
And you still are good.
Yeah, but you gotta get good. And
it feels like I'm playing how people will play like these action RPGs with experience turned off, so they're playing level 1.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Uh-huh.
Because you can't progress your stats until you beat them.
And you know what it also reminds me of? And I've seen this comparison online too, and I love it. I think it's such an apt comparison. It reminds me of a fighting game where you don't really have handicaps. It's down to your own skill. And the opponents that you face are the bosses. Like, you just have to genuinely understand the mechanics of that character. Because the 7 Spears guy, you know you could do the Mikiri counter. Mm-hmm. You know you can backstab him. But he was still messing me up because of the timing. That one, like, long and drawn-out thing that he hits the ground and slashes up with his spear.
Yeah.
You could counter it, but I kept messing up the timing. And it's a one-hit kill.
And if you could grind out, like, 7 more attack points before fighting him, you just got to hit him, like, twice, and he's dead.
Yeah. Because the attack upgrades do make a big difference.
They do.
Yeah.
And so,
it's a great system.
I really like that.
It's a great system.
Now, one could argue, what's the point of even having that system if they're forcing you into some sort of it's not linear progression, but a certain order of progression to defeat the bosses anyway. If they're limiting your stats based on you defeat them, you get the items to increase your stats. If you go back to earlier areas to grind or explore or whatever, and so just the regular enemies in the game,
you break posture like that.
You can kill people in a hit. With certain attacks.
I've noticed that. Yeah,
and so I guess that's where the balance piece comes in. But for the bosses and mini bosses, it
won't really matter. No. I don't know. I have fallen in love with this game in a way that I didn't expect. I thought I was gonna enjoy it for sure. I did expect more of a Soulsy feel, and I remember thinking to myself when we started playing it, and I was hella frustrated. I'm like, I don't see this game getting a 7. I don't see it or getting higher than a 7 in my mind for the gameplay, because it was like, why is this not working? Like, I just couldn't get it past my mind. Like, don't play this way. Don't play this way. And now you see me playing, and I'm just jumping around, being hella aggressive, and I'm not even having, like, it's still hard, but I'm enjoying myself because I know, like, I'm playing it right now. Now I know, like, I'm surviving a little bit longer.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Just because you're aggressive does not mean it's cake.
Yeah.
It's still...
definitely
This is from what I've experienced so far... I've heard it takes like 15 hours or something to beat the final boss in this game.
Yeah, apparently it's an actually difficult fight. Which I'm like, oh man.
I may never beat this game, to be honest.
No, we're gonna beat it. We're gonna
try. I'm gonna do my best.
Like,
I beat Bloodborne. I beat Dark Souls 3.
Dude, the third boss of this game, I've only fought him once, right?
Oh, I've been to if it's the same one I'm thinking of.
Probably. Spoiler alert, perhaps?
There was a cutscene.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. How did you do?
It's kind of like it's like in an area that's actually open. Yeah. Okay.
That was awesome.
No, I died. I died pretty fast.
I wasn't expecting a boss fight there. By the way, I'm just like,
you did, and then you cross the threshold. You're like, cinematic
crowd. But so have you fought him just the one time and
I fought him just once, and then I'm like, screw that. That was like almost
that was insane.
4 days ago.
That was insane. But I went back. I fought him the one time, destroyed me. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna race up some skills and come back. I came back. I actually death blowed him once, then he killed me, and then I went back a second time and I got both death blows. Let me tell you.
Oh, you beat him.
Let me tell you, this game is awesome. Like, I felt my improvement with that fight. That fight was like almost okay, you've done the tutorial. That's what I felt like after that moment.
Does Sekiro come across the screen after defeating
It would have been
him?
amazing, but no, it didn't.
That would have been like, how big is this game? Oh my god.
But it felt good. Like, I get it. I get this game now. Going up that way, by the way. Woo!
Oh my god.
That was so
Nope.
good. That was so good. I don't know. I think by the end of this game, which like I need to beat this game. Like,
try.
I'm probably gonna be like genuinely in love. This might be a better game than Bloodborne.
Granted, I've beaten 2 bosses, so we'll see.
Yeah, you gotta keep going.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Bloodborne continues to improve over the course of the game, so I will give this an opportunity to improve.
From Software, man.
But
they're good.
It's funny you mentioned Bloodborne, though, and I don't want to linger too much more on this for an impressions video, but one of the things that stood out to me very quickly was a lot of the music is very similar to Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, those haunting, like, whatever instrument it is, that it literally sounds like they just took something right out of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't
oh my
think
god, like, I'm feeling it. Like, I like this. But it's... The whole visual aesthetic's totally different.
Yeah,
obviously.
it's feudal Japan. This is a very Japanese game, and everything they've done before has been very Western influenced. This is 100% Japanese, and it definitely feels different. I don't get the same feeling as Bloodborne. I think aesthetically,
it was in the music, in the way that the characters. So I'm actually speaking strictly audio because it was the music, the way that the characters talk in a very low monotone voice.
Right.
Like
yeah, that's that gothic aesthetic.
Yeah, it has that.
It has that going for it.
Which I don't remember Dark Souls, at least Dark Souls 3.
Dark
I don't
Souls
remember
was
that
Western.
having that.
No, Dark Souls was very Western fantasy. He said it himself, the Miyazaki. He said Dark Souls was like him growing up watching fantasy, reading fantasy novels. So it's obviously that, you know. Bloodborne is a very different beast, and I think and honestly, Bloodborne, in terms of just straight up audio and music, I honestly, as of now, Bloodborne has the upper hand. I think the music themes in that game are just incredible, where Sekiro hasn't hit that yet. You know, however, some of the fights, like, again, the horse fight music was
more
awesome.
action music. Yeah.
But I don't know. I honestly, like, again, first impressions, first 10 to 15 hours of this game, maybe even 20 hours. I don't know how much I've played. This is a really solid game. You have to get past that hump. This has been a skill check for a lot of people that thought, yo, I'm good, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I walked into this thinking, like, because it was like, Bloodborne was when Souls clicked for me.
Yeah. I remember that.
I went into Dark Souls 3. I'm like, man, I got this.
Yeah.
And I did.
And you did, yeah.
It wasn't really, I mean, it was hard, but it wasn't like I was prepared.
Yes.
I was not prepared for this.
I don't think anybody was. This is them doing something drastically different. Like,
I love to hate this game.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I hate to love it. One of the two. I don't know.
I feel you. I think I've passed that now to the point of really appreciating it. But I know I'm going to get to a boss that's going to destroy me, and I'm going to be like, oh, and here it is.
I feel it's masochistic.
It is very masochistic.
Especially when it's like, I know I'm so close to beating this boss, but I really got to go to bed. But I'm gonna beat it. No, you don't want. I don't want this game to defeat me. I feel like if I can beat this, I can beat anything.
You're ready for anything. It really feels that way because you don't like the whole posture system. How you are rewarded for being aggressive because, like, even when they attack and you parry that bad boy, no posture damage, no damage to you. Like the game is telling you, dude, get the timing down. Like, really think about what you got to do in this game. Like, with the boss, you know, like the Lady Butterfly, a little bit of a spoiler for her.
Damn, that was hard.
It was a hard fight.
Screw that fight.
But
sprinting saved the day.
When I started playing it aggressive, like the second phase of her, I did not give her time to breathe. It took her, like, I started getting a lot of posture damage before she did her illusion thing. And then after that, that's when I started running around.
Yeah.
Didn't get hit. And then every time she would jump up, dude, Shurikens like crazy. Yeah. It does so much posture damage.
You just got to be close enough to where, but not too close, because if you're too close, she's up here. You can't. Okay, now I gotta say, I'm sorry.
Camera?
I don't want to end on a bad note, but the camera in this game sucks.
Camera games have sucked from software. Like,
yeah, but in this game especially,
so
it is very apparent. Especially if you try jumping a lot.
Yeah.
Screw it. And oh my god, there's so many times, or I'm trying to sprint and I accidentally click in crouch.
Yeah.
Apparently you can remap all the buttons, but I'm just like, get out of here! Come on! Like, I'm like yelling at the game.
The FOV isn't that good either. I think I think the camera's a little too close.
It is.
To Sekiro. Like when I started playing, I was like, crap, I can barely see anything.
Yeah.
And I think they need to change that because in PC they already added the mod to change the FOV, and people are like, yes, now I actually can see around me.
Right.
For a game that's so vertically inclined, you know. But anyway, I'm loving the game.
I love the game. I can't wait
man.
I can't wait to like see, because I feel like I've been down all these different paths so far, but maybe I haven't actually been that far at all. Like I feel like there's it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, this game is so big.
You went to the underground.
I went to the start of it.
Okay.
I fought one enemy that didn't give me experience, and I'm like, nope, and I ran away.
Just remember the what's it called? Remember the cliche for that type of enemy, how they're normally killed in like pop culture.
Yeah, spoilers. Now I got it, man.
Like I thought I immediately.
Really? That's how you beat it?
Well, wait, which one are you talking about? Is that about a mini boss or like a regular?
No,
enemy?
just enemies. Now I get it. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely that. So
I was only there for literally one enemy that was in like a room with a chest. And then I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, so I left.
Yeah, it was actually I got past that, and the area after that.
Yeah, I know you came out the other end.
That area scares me. Big time. That's the area that I'm like, why do I feel so scared? I hate this.
There's a certain enemy in one of the earlier parts of the game that you really gotta explore to get there, and you've been there.
Headless?
Yeah, and
that shit's scary.
Oh man,
I was playing with headphones, and the music started playing, and I'm like, oh.
And the way it
looks
affects your character.
Oh yes,
the way it affects the control of your character, and plus the stat. It's just like, I'm not supposed to come back and fight this for a long time.
You can, but I don't think.
No, I think that was meant to be later.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. That thing scared the crap. I didn't fight him.
I didn't try.
I tried one time and
died instantly.
I didn't. I actually did a little bit of damage, and then I lost all my
death.
things. And I was like, I'm leaving. Screw this crap. I used my idol in a corner and left. I was like,
oh, you can idle out of boss fights?
You can idle out of anything. Yeah. Yeah, so people have said, like, if you're fighting a boss and you use up all your things and you feel like you don't want to lose anything, just idle out.
Oh, well, that's cheap. But now that I know it, that's all I'm going to do.
If you get hit, though, I think if you get hit within the first few frames, though, you're not going to get out of it. So you got to use it, like...
away from the...
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Like in Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
Well, that kind of negates my whole whine about
it's
how...
hard to do it. Not like...
Well, yeah, because it's the same with, like, if you're fighting somebody and you're like, I got to get out. Oh, I can grapple up there. You can get... hit out of the grapple animation.
Yeah, or just get killed on the way up there. Awesome. It's happened to me where I'm like about to grapple and I start grappling and they hit me and I'm like, oh crap, I died.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it feels bad, man. But yeah, our TGR's official impressions of Sekiro: Shadows Die 100,000 times.
It's good.
It's really good.
It's hard, but it's good.
It's really hard. But I love it. Thank you, From Software.
What do you guys think of Sekiro? Let us know in the comments below.
We'll definitely review it. I really do want to review it.
We got to get Rudy to play. It's a challenge when you've got all these games that all came out within
I haven't even finished Devil May Cry 5.
RE2, DMC5. We all played Kingdom Hearts. You can go watch our awesome review of a terrible game.
There you go.
That's not terrible.
It's average.
Better than good.
At best.
We gave it a 6 some point, whatever. Spoilers. And then Sekiro, and it's just like...
When are we gonna have time to do it? Like, I want to finish Devil May Cry 5. Like, I still haven't even finished the second run of Resident Evil 2. Like, and that came out in January. What? Like, I don't know.
It's a good time to be a gamer.
It really is. It really is. I feel like I'm bitching and whining, but I'm excited. I'm really happy for these first 3 months. God, we've got such good games. But anyway.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time.
Later, boys.
Like what you saw? Check out some of our other videos and be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest content. Thanks for your support and thanks for watching.